Is Catholicism on the decline? Why have so many people left the Catholic Church? Do the closings of so many Catholic schools reflect what's happening to the faith? And why are so many schools being shut down? We'll ask a church insider those questions and more right now on It's Your Call. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Lynn Doyle. Today's topic asks the question, is Catholicism in decline? But you don't have to be a Catholic to have an opinion. Perhaps your perception of the Catholic Church has been influenced because of the sexual abuse allegations made against priests over the last decade. Or maybe you or someone you know has been affected by the 1,700 Catholic school closings across the country since the year 2000. Or maybe you're part of the faithful that constitutes the estimated 5 billion Catholics worldwide. Whatever your connection, we'd like to know what you think about the church these days. We'll be taking your calls and checking in on your emails in just a few moments. First, though, we're joined by Jerry Davis. He's a member of the Philadelphia Archdiocese Blue Ribbon Commission charged with developing a strategy to ensure sustainable Catholic education in that archdiocese. Commissioner, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Lynn. It's good to be here.
There are a lot of questions to ask about the Catholic Church, including why so many schools nationwide are closing. But first, I'd like your opinion on whether or not you believe Catholicism is, in fact, in decline.
What we have to do is have a renewal in the Catholic Church. There are many factors and situations that are taking place that cause people perhaps to question. And one of the things that we want to do in the Archdiocese is to make sure we ask ourselves the hard questions, that we are transparent and open, and that we answer some of the questions that people have. And that's what we intend to do and will do over time. What
are some of the factors in your estimation that may be leading people to question their faith or question the actions of the church?
Well, it's not just the Catholic Church. I think what we have is more of a secular society, and people aren't going to church. As I think back to when I went to church, as a young boy, churches were full. People today aren't going to church. You have Catholics, other religions, and they simply aren't going to church at the same rate that they used to. We have to ask the question, why aren't they? And then to address that. And that's what we plan to do over time. This is not near term. This is a longer term issue that requires a lot of questions and answers to those questions.
Do you think it's just society in general has placed less of an emphasis on religion? For example, when I was a kid, we could never shop on a Sunday. Sunday was designated for going to church and Mass. Now, we have a completely different approach to what Sunday means in our lives and in society as general.
Lynn, there are so many options today that people have. Things that they have today we didn't have. When I grew up, again, back in the Dark Ages, you had the radio. Kids today say, well, you didn't have television? No, we didn't. Then you had television, and then it expanded. And today, there's so many outlets for all the energy that people have. And we don't have that family nucleus that we used to have. And it's not just the Catholic Church, it's across the board.
Now, of course, we wanted to talk with you because you played a role in the decision-making process of closing some 50 schools in the Philadelphia Archdiocese. As I mentioned, it's not just Philadelphia that's been affected. 1,700 plus across the country in the last 10 years have been closed. Are you seeing a generality across the nation as to what causes these Catholic schools to close?
Lynn, in Philadelphia, we had a situation, and it's an old axiom, if you don't fix the problem or handle the problem will handle you. And we had a problem. We have a situation where schools were just simply unsustainable because of finances. And in my role and the role of the other commissioners, we looked at all these situations, whether it was the enrollment, current and projected enrollment, the finances of the parishes in the church, the deficits that some of these churches were going through, and other factors. And you look at all the educational programs, you look at all those factors, and you have declining enrollment. Back in 1911, in Philadelphia, we had 68,000 students in school. In 1961, we had 250,000. Today, we have 68,000. The baptisms are down. And so you don't have the critical mass economy of scales. And as you have lower enrollment, tuition costs go up, and that gap continues to widen. So we had to fix the problem. Painful.
We're going to talk about those painful decisions and the impact it has on the community, but I do want to invite our viewers to be part of our conversation as well. I'm asking if you think Catholicism is in decline, and if so, what you think is contributing to it. If you are or were Catholic, does the church still have a strong hold on you? And if you or your family or friends are affected by these school closings, we'd like to know the impact that it's having on you. If you want to tell us what you think, a couple of different ways you can do it. You can email me directly. I'm at lynn@lyndoyle.net. You can also find us, as always, on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We've posted this question on Facebook, and we are going to share some of those comments and questions with you later in the show. Right now, though, back to the conversation at hand, and that is the decision-making that was required in selecting particular schools to be closed. You said that there was a criteria that the commission looked at. Is the bottom line here money? If the schools weren't generating enough money to sustain themselves, that the tough decision is they have to go?
The bottom line and the guiding principle for all the commissioners, and I can speak and say that we, in our decision making, took people into consideration. What we're concerned about, and obviously I understand the focus on closing of schools, what we're talking about is strengthening the schools and to ensure that over time we will still have Catholic education. If we didn't do anything, and for me and the other commissioners, that was not an option. It was unacceptable. In fact, shame on us if we didn't do something. Now, people have to understand in Philadelphia, people feel very strongly about their schools. I lived in other cities, and in other cities, it's not like Philadelphia where people say, I went to this particular school, elementary. They went to this particular high school. They identify and relate.
Certainly.
So it's an emotional issue, and we fully understand the pain, and we deeply care about that, but there are decisions that had to be made.
All right, on that note, we are going to go to the telephone lines and get some of your opinion. Matt is on the line with us now. Matt, thank you for joining us. It's your call.
Hi, Lynn. Thanks for having me on today.
My question to the audience is, do you think Catholicism is in decline? What's your opinion on that?
I think it is in decline. I think it's been in decline for a while now. I think Catholicism has done well when times are tough and people are struggling. It does well to service its community, but times are good now and people seem to have left a lot more.
So what would you say to the faithful to give them hope that the Catholic Church will see a resurgence moving forward?
Well, I noticed that where I go to church, there hasn't been a decline, and I think the church is just downsizing. I think it's even right-sizing to the folks who are really faithful, and I just think we have to lead by example so the ones who would like to come back will see the benefit of coming back.
All right, Matt, thank you very much for your call. We appreciate it.
Have a good day.
All right, you as well. All right, Jerry, I would like to thank you for being with us. I do have to take a break. Would you like to leave a message with the viewers in the Philadelphia Archdiocese viewing area about the future of the schools there?
The future of the school, and the key right now is execution and implementation. And if we do this right, if we partner the schools together and in a collaborative effort, what we will have, and this is the assurance that I give people, that we will have Catholic education. Right now we have uncertainty. I want people to know that if you put your child in first grade, they can graduate from 8th grade when we do the consolidations of the schools.
All right, Jerry Davis, thank you very much. We appreciate your time. If you have questions or comments for him, you can email them to me and I will forward them, lynn@lyndoyle.net. We're going to take more of your calls and check in with your emails in 2 minutes, and we have a blue ribbon panel of our own to talk about Catholicism when we return. Stay with us.